Both of us? Okay. Hi guys, this is Cricket. Cricket has been coming to me for a while. She's a super sweet girl. She was doing really good, and then as part of older age, she developed Cushing's disease. So she has a lot of skin and coat issues that we, she's on medication, and she does have a great doctor and a great mom that's doing the best that they both can on that end. But here in the salon, I try to do some extra stuff for her just to make her feel better and look a little bit better each time she comes in. So one of the things that Cricket gets is a mud pack. You can use whatever type of mud you prefer. If you're going to do something that's going to help with, or you want to do something that's going to help with itchiness, flakiness, and dryness, I would recommend a detoxing mud or a fortifying mud with some oils in it to help re-moisturize at the same time that you're pulling out impurities from the coat and reducing the buildup. So she's going to get fortifying mud today. And then she's going to be wrapped in a towel, and I'm just going to streamline all this so there won't be any time lapse going on. But she'll have the mud applied. She gets wrapped in a towel for about 5 minutes. I pull the towel back, and then I wet her coat a little bit, and this is all going on to dry coat, so her coat has not been wet yet. And then I wet her coat with warm water a little bit, and then I pour raw turbinado sugar over the mud that has been moistened, and then I rub that in. So this gives me more mechanical exfoliation. It's also moisturizing, and it will help to get all of the larger flakes and crustiness up and off of her skin. After I rub everything in and massage everything in really well, I do not rinse that off. I go right over the top with my proportioner, which is my pressurized shampoo applicator, and I apply the shampoo right over and wash everything off together. And then as a final step, she'll get a little bit of a light spray-on conditioner to help reseal her mantle and help reseal the hair cuticle and re-moisturize just a little bit, okay? All right, so we'll get started. She's a little nervous. Her mom said they just changed the dosage on her meds, so she gets shaky, but they're working on it on their end. So we're gonna do what we can here today for her. Again, I use the Madre More mud, but you guys are free to use whatever kind of mud you prefer. I love the smell of this stuff. I really, really love the ingredients. I love how simply it applies. They also sell some smaller bags with a spout mouth on them, which are really nice in case you want to switch things up. I've got all of their different formulas, and I like their mud a lot. And it's a great company. Jackie is she's a great, great woman for our industry. I like supporting those types of companies whenever I can. And full ingredients disclosure. I know, right? She's really not dry, on her legs. She's mostly dry around her body, the core of herself, if you will, her trunk. And I am applying it liberally. Obviously, this is not something you can do on a double-coated dog very efficiently without going through a ton of product. But it works for dogs that have sparse coat, for sure. And what mud does is it adsorbs and absorbs. So it absorbs impurities that are in the coat or on the skin surface, and it also adsorbs, so it holds onto that without releasing it after it's rinsed through. So it's a really good way to get environmental pollutants and pathogens, yeast, secondary bacteria up and off of the skin and kind of get everything back in balance. At the same time, it's a light mechanical exfoliant as well. I think we're about done here. That's good. Especially her flanks. She has a lot of dryness and crustiness back here on her booty. She does. She got the booty crust. She's such a good girl, though. Okay, so I'm working that in. This stuff does utilize the warmth of your hands and that mechanical application process where you're rubbing it into the hair, rubbing it into the skin. And the dogs dig it. Yeah. Okay. Her inner tummy was really dry today. And I did grab some before photos up close of her skin, so hopefully I remember to take afters. I'm so bad about that. So this is a warm towel. I've warmed it with water. I drape that over her, okay? And just wrap her up loosely like a little burrito. Make sure she's seated and proper. There, get her feet under herself. Now if you're doing the top of the head, you know, some dogs that have late stage issues, they'll lose all this hair on the top of their top knot, and their hair up or skin up on top of their head would get bad as well. You can certainly lift that up and just wrap it over like a hood. You're never gonna wanna stay or not stay tub side, right? You're gonna wanna watch the dog at all times. Oh my God, are you cute? And always be present. Don't get on your phone and ignore the dog. They're wrapped up and warm and secure, so that's good. They're safe that way. You wouldn't want to do this on a dog that has breathing or respiratory issues, like an older dog with fluid. You could do it, but you wouldn't want to do a warm, wet towel compress on top for very long. If you raise the dog's temperature, the core temperature, too high when they're old, or pregnant, you can have some secondary issues. So you just wouldn't want to apply that warm towel. So we're going to time lapse, okay? We're going to pretend that we've had this on her for 5 minutes. You're okay. Ah, cricketa. All right, we're going to unwrap her. Oh, there she is. Okay. Set that towel aside and get my warm water going. And I'm gonna rinse just a little to wet everything down, okay? And that's still warm water. Warm water on the coat works to keep the skin follicle open. That will help with lifting out dead hair. It'll help with cellular debris removal. It stimulates circulation. All kinds of stuff, okay? And then I'm gonna do my sugar. It's important if you're using these raw products like this that you do not double dip in your major or your main product. Use something to proportion it out and apply it by hand. Oh, that smells so good. Yummy. A little more. And I keep these supplies near my bathing area. They all have their separate tins. I've got whole different kinds of salts, a couple of grades of sugar, and I keep those all in those easy to reach containers so that I've got them at the ready when a dog comes in with issues. Yeah, this is good. If you attend my class on soaks, and my class on scrubs, and my class on masks, which will be coming up soon through Positive Education. All of this will be covered in each of those classes independently. Now when I wash her, I will be using a conditioning shampoo. I will not be using a clarifying or a heavily stripping shampoo. Something, you know, a little bit moisturizing that'll get all the debris off and not overly strip or overly dry her skin. Her skin is very fragile and her coat is very fragile. That's another reason why on dogs like this, you know, when we're applying these methods, we do have to remember the coat is brittle and the skin is fragile at this point. These endocrine issues like this cause a lot of hormonal changes in the body, and hormone changes immediately will affect skin and coat. Now we're going right over with the shampoo. Now you do want to be sure that if you're using a moisturizing shampoo that you've diluted it properly. If you're using like a soap-free or sulfate-free or whatever, or you don't have it diluted properly, it's not going to pull all of the mud and the sugar or the salt or anything else you apply, the oil. If you do like an oil mask, it's not going to pull that off of the coat. So you've got to be sure that you have mixed your shampoo appropriately. And again, these methods go on dry coat. You can pre-wet the coat with warm water and open it. You're opening the skin that way. It kind of depends on the case. It kind of depends on the condition and the dog. But I prefer, if I'm going to try to grab onto coat pollutants and I'm going to try to grab onto cellular debris like skin and dandruff, that I apply that directly to dry coat. I'm grabbing onto it that way. If there's oil present in the coat, it's encapsulated by the surfactants in the shampoo and held onto and rinsed out of the coat instead of redepositing and riding around on the water and redepositing elsewhere on the dog. You're a girl. My shampoo is warm. I mix that up hot every morning. The shampoo I have in here today is an 84-to-1 Ultra from Show Season. It's a high dilution general use shampoo. And I also have a gallon of 50-to-1 Chris Smartwash. And then about a half a gallon in my proportioner mixed up of the Show Season Essentials. It's your individual decision if you mix shampoo companies or shampoo formulations. Know what you're doing. I prefer to mix these because it gets my coats really, really clean. It provides crispness and loft without overstripping, and the scent it's kind of a signature scent. When you mix that Show Season Essentials that has all of the aromatics in it along with the Chris Christensen Smartwash. This one is the Jungle Apple. When you mix those two together, oh, does it smell good. And the results on the coat are great. You can stick with one brand of shampoo. I'm not saying you need to mix. I just happen to do that today. I happen to do that a lot, actually. I do like kind of mixing around with formulations. Wash all this off too, huh? That's the only thing about mud. It turns into like grout on your tub if you leave it for too long. There again, that's another reason why applying your products to dry coat is great, because it sticks to the hair, especially if they shake. They don't shake off and shake a bunch of soap on you. It sticks to it. It sticks to the coat and skin really nicely. And yes, you can apply these techniques if you froth your shampoo or froth your conditioner. Although frothing shampoo, I don't know really has a benefit, but that's personal choice. There, I can already feel, oh, I love it. So we are going to rinse, rinse, rinse. Remember, rinsing with pure water, or as pure as possible out of the tap, is one of the major components of helping with skin issues. You cannot overlook or undervalue pure water as a cleansing and relieving component of any type of skin therapy. All right. Okay, from here I'm going to wrap her up. She's going to go back into the drying room and we're going to apply that light conditioning mist. That again is a light conditioning coat spray of your choice. It's an acidifying spray to help reseal that hair cuticle. Provide a little bit of moisture, anti-static, all that. Okay? All right. Go ahead, Corey.